Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where we talk about skincare, grooming, and sometimes hair, so that sounds like your thing. Make sure you are subscribed. Also, come and follow me on Instagram where I post a lot of stuff you're not going to see here on YouTube. So it's been roughly a week, give or take a few days depending on when I post this video, that myself and other YouTubers posted their Fenty skin reviews. I feel like so much has happened within that past week when it comes to how people watch skincare reviews, what they gather from skincare reviews, their preconceived notions, different opinions within the skincare influencer community, but also different opinions between experts as well, as far as many different things go. So I'm going to do my morning routine, and I thought we could just have a little chat about what Fenty Skin has taught us about the skincare community since its launch. So I've washed my face, it's the morning, so I tend to either not wash my face or wash it very gently. It's a little bit warmer here now in the UK, so I've been washing my face with a very gentle cleanser, either like a cleansing balm, I've been loving this Glow Recipe one, or just like a gentle gel type cleanser. Cleansers that I feel really just work on the surface to take away all that overnight sweat and oils as the weather gets warmer. So I'm just going to rehydrate my skin with the Cosrx Centella Water Alcohol-Free Toner. So let's talk about the main thing that I feel popped up within the skincare community, from viewers of skincare content all the way to Cosmetic Chemist, and that is of course fragrance in skincare. And whilst this video isn't going to be all about fragrance in skincare for a reason I'll tell you in a bit, I feel like it really is the backbone of what started all these different kinds of conversations. Fenty Skin seemed to hit a real nerve with quite a few people because of their use of fragrance in all of their products. It really did split opinions, and this is something that a lot of people, judging by comments, take very personally when anyone expresses their opinions on fragrance. I got so many comments on my Fenty review and after saying that I was suddenly okay with fragrance and that I was pretending I liked fragrance because I was sucking up to Fenty. I've always been okay with fragrance. If you think I haven't been, you're not watching my videos. But one thing I do always do is announce when there is fragrance in a product, because I get at the moment a lot of people dislike fragrance in skincare. And I'm going to talk super quickly about this because I don't want people to start having debates in the comment section about whether it's good for you, whether it's not, who should use it, whether fragrance really has any benefits. That's for another time. But what I will say, and what I think is really important, is it's not for us influencers, skincare gurus, I hate both of those terms, to set the record straight when it comes to fragrance. It's not for us to kind of tell you you're right or wrong. All we are doing is relaying what we've heard from experts that we follow, and then showing how that works within our own personal skincare routines when it comes to our product reviews. We've talked about cherry picking our data before, and this is like, even experts do this, where they will find papers and studies to back up their opinion, their very biased opinion. It's what magazines do, it's what brands do, for example, to prove that parabens are the devil. And influencers can cherry pick data from experts that they follow as well. We can cherry pick the experts that we want to believe and are biased to. And that's fine. And when I say experts, I'm saying cosmetic chemists, scientists, dermatologists, people who have these degrees, diplomas, I don't know what the other words are because I didn't get that far. And we'll talk about what a lot of them had to say about fragrance in a minute. But what this kind of showed to me is that people are so quick to jump on something they've heard from one person who they really trust and believe, and then spread that word like it's gospel without doing the research. I have my biases. There are people that I follow and I really strictly believe what they have to say, but then I also like to look at the other side of the conversation, and I feel like this really showed that people do have their own bias for fragrance. And what I feel a lot of people also think is that when these experts are saying it's not as black and white, as fragrance is bad for everyone and will give you a long-term reaction, or you'll develop a reaction, when they're saying it's not that black and white, a lot of people with genuine fragrance allergies, and also people who just want to avoid it, take this really personally, and they go on the attack like people are kind of like devalidating their irritation, their allergies, when that's not the case. Speaking of that, let's talk about how Fenty Skin, I think this week, really opened up a lot of new people to the science of skincare and the people behind the science of skincare. Before we do that, I'm going to go with my essence stage. This is the Neogen Real Ferment Micro Essence. Again, for me, this is purely a hydrating stage, just to get in that little boost of Fermented ingredients, which my skin really seems to like for like the brightening of the skin tone. Also, my rosacea is really flaring up. I'm going to be getting IPL on it soon to kind of take it away. I've been using azelaic acid and that really did help kind of like die down the redness. But the video I filmed the other day where I was like trying all those products really fucked it up. So completely my fault. So everybody follows a lot of dermatologists here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and Twitter. The people I feel a lot of people don't follow is the other side of the conversation. So the cosmetic formulators, the cosmetic chemists, people who work for the FDA, trading standards, all that kind of side of the conversation. And during the great fragrance debate of 2020, a lot of people on Instagram especially were sharing these posts from some of these amazing scientists. Estheticians, dermatologists, and there was a whole wealth of information discussing essentially the science behind fragrance. I'm not going to say what way I go, but you obviously know. And what I love about these experts, these really respected industry professionals, is that they have day jobs and they're supplying us with all this free, amazing content that we could never find ourselves online, because that is not, we just won't be able to understand that kind of side of the skincare world. Unless, of course, it's your job and, or you're studying it. Some of my favorites, for example, who, again, I'll post everyone down below. We had Cosmetic Chemist talking about how they can make near hypoallergenic fragrances. What all these experts seem to agree with, though, in the long run, is that nothing is black and white. Like we said earlier, a lot of people here on YouTube, including myself, have really tried to be more kind of understanding of the science behind skincare. And we come to these yes or no answers, these black and white answers. Then the scientists have come in and be like, guys, it's really not this simple. And if you find anybody who says it's as simple as that, they may be a little bit biased towards the cause. I personally do want to see more of these people here on YouTube, here on the platform, bringing a different side of the conversation. No, I love the Eco Well. Jen from the Eco Well has an amazing YouTube channel where she brings in all different types of people from the industry, myth busting about everything you can think of. I have my bias as well towards Michelle from Muffin Beauty Science, because she never really posts her opinion. When it comes to the science behind skincare, she posts facts and data, and it's never like, this is how I feel about this, So I like that kind of perspective where she's not putting her own emotions into what she thinks is right and wrong. However, looking at the comment section, a lot of these posts, we had everyday people telling these scientists that they were wrong. That their education, all those years and years that they spent learning all about what they were posting about, is invalid. And in fact, they have read something on Reddit, they saw someone talk about something on YouTube, and they were in fact right. They are essentially an armchair scientist. And I stress that these industry experts weren't initially sharing their opinion. They were bringing you facts, they were bringing you data, and putting it in layman terms for us, which it can't be easy to do, to create a post like that. So much effort goes into these posts. And to see these amazing people putting this content out there for free, this free education in a topic that we are all so passionate about, to see these people come in and basically have a go at them and tell them that their education is invalid and their experience is invalid, it really pissed me off. And this isn't just about fragrance, by the way. Again, we're using fragrance as a backbone because I felt like it opened a conversation to a lot of other stuff. But this is about parabens. Whenever they post about that, you have a load of people saying, oh, well, literally, I saw a comment saying, oh, well, I hope you carry on using parabens and you get cancer. Like, what the fuck? Clean beauty, sunscreen safety, all these controversial topics that if you just took a moment to read these amazing posts, you would understand the actual science behind them and where this fear-mongering comes from. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a serum. This is the Time Revolution Artemisia Ample from Misha. Again, this is just nice and soothing. It's mugwort, essentially. So it's soothing, calms redness and irritation, which my skin is in dire need of. When it comes to doing your own research, don't do it. This is why I stopped trying to link to papers and scientific evidence and references, because unless you work within that world, unless you know every single word that is going on in those studies and you understand how to relate that to personal experience in a lab, I don't know about you, but I've never worked in a lab, then you're not going to be able to grasp these papers in the way that you should be able to interpret them. And judging by a lot of these comments as well, a lot of them were like, oh, your point's invalid, it's a simple Google and you'll see that you're wrong. Google is not a valid point of research. Here's an example I always use. If you type into Google, parabens will give you cancer, you'll get millions of results where people are telling you parabens will give you cancer. If you type in parabens won't give you cancer, again, you'll get millions of results for the counter argument. So what Google does is finds you what you want to see. That's how it works. That's how search engines work. It will find you what you want to know. So when you're doing your own research, the way I personally like to do it is to follow the people who know what they're talking about, but a wide range. Not just someone whose opinion you believe or want to believe, but all sides of the argument so that you can really, really make up your own mind. So on that note, I will just solidify my opinion on fragrance. I don't mind it. By saying I don't mind it, my skin doesn't mind it. And I know a lot of people say that you may not mind it now, but your skin's going to develop a reaction. Again, going by Dermatologist, Cosmetic Chemist, Cosmetic Formulators, their posts that I've seen, that's a very, very rare situation. One of my favorite dermatologists to follow is, of course, Dr. Shereen Idris. She basically said, not direct quote, that yes, it's possible to build up an intolerance to fragrance. And if one day you wake up and your skin doesn't like fragrance, then stop using it. It's not a big deal. It's that simple. And I do believe it's that simple. It's like when my dad is a celiac, he developed a gluten allergy. I think he was about 40, so he stopped eating gluten. You know? But going back to it's not for me to kind of solidify this. I know there's going to be so many amazing posts and videos coming from all these specialists who seemed quite kind of not wound up about it, but just want to get the facts out there. Okay, I'm going to go in with a moisturizer. This is the Klairs Fundamental Water Gel Cream. This is green tea and panthenol in. Again, in the mornings, I just like using very lightweight but hydrating, nourishing, soothing products. This literally feels like water on the skin. So again, along the lines of fragrance, let's talk about the preconceived notions that came with not just Fenty skincare, but celebrity skincare lines. I made a video where I talked about skincare trends that I hate, and one of them was celebrity skincare brands. I feel different about Fenty Skin, and it's not because I'm a fan of Rihanna. I'm not a fan of her. She's probably a very nice person, but I'm not really into pop culture. I don't care about celebrity culture. Celebrities don't bother me. But from an outsider perspective, knowing that Rihanna owns 50% of Fenty, she's going to have a lot more to do with it than, say, Paris Hilton and her skincare line, because you know Paris Hilton just stood in a room and approved some colours and packaging options. And you can tell there's a difference. The way Rihanna talks about Fenty Skin in all the Fenty Skin posts is very different to holding your product on a red carpet and going like, I love it, I use it all the time. But one thing I noticed is as the like ingredients list kind of started to leak online, I can't remember how they started to leak, but people were finding out that there was fragrance and witch hazel basically in the products, people immediately took a disliking to it. But even before that, people wanted to dislike this line. I posted my review on the day that it launched. It was like 6 a.m. here in the UK or something ridiculous like that. And the moment I posted, I was already getting negative comments within the minute. Within the first minute of the video, I haven't even started talking about the products yet. So people wanted to dislike these products because it was attached to a celebrity. One thing I have learned from a lot of cosmetic chemists is that you cannot review a product by just looking at the ingredients list, because unless you are a cosmetic chemist, you can't look at the ingredient list of a product. That one doesn't have one. You can't look at the ingredient list of a product. Why do none of these have ingredients on them? I don't know why I have to show you. You can't look at the ingredients of a product and judge it purely by reading off the ingredients. Unless you're looking for a particular ingredient that you know you have a reaction to or you're allergic to, you can't look at it and think, oh, my skin's not going to like that. People do this, for example, with alcohol, denatured alcohol. They see it in a product and they're like, oh, it's going to dry out my skin, despite it being like an evening ceramide rich night moisturizer. As non-cosmetic chemists and formulators, we're not going to know how different ingredients play with each other, how certain ones kind of reform other ones. I don't even know the terminology. So you can't just look at an ingredient and think, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, it's going to be bad for my skin. Because we don't understand the chemistry behind how these ingredients work together. I've done this before. I do it all the time. I pick out like the good ingredients from a product, which is still okay to do, but I don't feel comfortable really reviewing a product unless I've tried it, for example. I feel like all these websites, you know, like EWG and Inky Coda, and what's the other one? Skin something. I feel like they've gotten us all into this really bad habit of checking our ingredients and looking for these nasty ingredients without really understanding how they work. But as I was saying, people wanted to hate this, and I think this is really interesting. I think another thing Fenty Skin showed us is how the audience sees positive and negative reviews given by influencers. If you take a look at all the positive reviews of Fenty Skin, People are in there calling us liars because we liked the products. I said it was decent, but I'd probably never buy it again. And people are like, you're just sucking up to Rihanna. I was like, she doesn't know me. I don't know her. I'm so grateful that I was on the PR list. But people are like, you're just doing it to stay on the PR list. It's not worth going through all that effort to make up a review just to receive 1 or 2 products a year that Fenty Skin will probably come out with because they're not rushing to release stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, influencers aren't as desperate for PR as I think a lot of people think we are. Also, reviews that were not negative, but not in 100% favour of the products, were labelled as the only truthful views. And this goes back to, again, a conversation I had with a few people on Twitter, that why are only negative reviews seen as truthful? And it's because people want to dislike products and people. I see this in my own channel. I used to only do positive reviews because I didn't want to waste time and space giving screen time to these bad products, when really, when I started posting about bad products, the videos always get really good reviews because people want to hate on stuff. But also with those none of these reviews were really negative. I think everybody that didn't like the products had a very sensible review on it. They were like, these products are not for me. I don't like them because of the fragrance, which is a perfectly valid opinion. No one's opinion was correct or incorrect, but yet we had these Rihanna stans, judging by the profile pictures, leaving negative comments like, you don't know what you're talking about. I've seen dermatologists reviewing this as well. Some of them liked it, some of them didn't. Again, people attacking them as a dermatologist, saying that they don't deserve their license, which is just ridiculous. And even racist comments on some people's channels. Listen, if you are someone who gets so offended by someone not liking skincare, you need to go buy yourself a tent, pitch it in the woods for a couple of days, don't tell your family where you've gone, and you need to have a really serious think about the kind of person you are, because it is not normal to have that kind of anger because somebody doesn't like skincare. It's not. If you are one of those people, honestly, what the fuck? The next product I'm going to use is actually the Black Girl Sunscreen Kids. This is SPF 50 broad spectrum, water resistant, no parabens, fragrance, oxybenzone, and octinoxate. White residue free. I was very cautious. I'm like a quick mini review. Not cautious, but when I read the ingredients, I was like, oh, it seemed like it was going to be really, really heavy, and I have very oily skin. It's not at all. You'll see me put it on now. I avoid my beard area with thicker sunscreens like this. I use a very particular sunscreen in my beard that's basically just feels like water. I usually like to do a few oh god, oh no, oh. Okay, we're gonna have to ignore that. I usually do a few layers of sunscreen just to make sure I get in all the right crevices and cover all the areas of my face. I feel like a lot of people try to pit certain creators against each other because of our different opinions, in particular when it comes to fragrance and whether we liked a certain product or not. But from where I'm standing, from what I see, none of us care, to be honest with you. I think we all have like a mutual respect for each other and each other's opinions, because at the end of the day, again, it's just skincare. It's meant to be fun, and it's great to have all these professionals on here as well, giving us the science and the facts. But it's also good to do just what works for your skin. Just do what your skin likes, not what you prefer, what your skin likes. To kind of conclude this, I would say, get your information from more than one expert. Check their biases and compare that to what other experts are saying. Really look at what their job is. What are they doing? Why would their opinion be more valid than someone else's? Or why would their opinion be more informed than someone else's? Look at their job and see why they have that opinion. Is there something one side is missing that the other one doesn't understand? Does there need to be more communication between these experts to better help us understand what the fuck is going on? As I said, I'll post some amazing people that I like to follow down below. People who I feel are unbiased, people who really check a wide range of studies and information and references and opinions. It makes it easy for us to understand. I would say from this as well, if you have a different opinion about someone when it comes to ingredients and skincare, that's absolutely fine. It's normal because our skin is completely different. What your skin isn't gonna like, we say this all the time, what your skin doesn't like, someone else's skin might absolutely love. And remember that even the scientists are saying that the science behind skincare is not as black and white as people like to make it out to be. So don't let certain things scare you off using a product. That being said, if you don't want to use something, but the science says it's absolutely fine for you, but you still don't feel fine using it, don't use it. That's absolutely fine as well. All of our opinions are perfectly valid if you're just doing what works for you. When it comes to reviews and thinking if a review's biased, or you think an influencer is just reviewing a product to get in a celebrity's good books, then don't follow them. Follow people that you trust. If you think my Fenty skin review was mainly positive because I wanted a signed Rihanna album, I was going to say CD. Do they make CDs anymore? I don't know. Then unfollow me. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you dislike somebody else's review because they didn't like the fact there was fragrance in it, unfollow them. You don't have to see this kind of stuff. You don't have to get so wound up about it. And I'm not talking to any of you guys, because you can all think for yourselves. You know what's going on. You know what you like, and you respect everybody else's opinion. And when I link all the people down below, please go take a look at their profiles and the posts, but not just what the image description says and the image itself. Have a look in the comments. There's a lot of amazing conversation going on between experts in the comments section, coming from all different points of view about particular topics, and we can really learn from them. They're not there to change our opinion on how we should feel about certain things or what we should be using. They're just there to present you with facts and to let you kind of make up your own mind from science and facts and what we know, rather than presumption and what ifs. Right, I'm going to do my eyebrows, but that's really boring, so I'll do that off camera. I hope that was interesting. I don't know, I'm going to do more of these, like, just chatting about stuff while I do my routine. I'm going to do an evening routine this week as well, which is going to be super relaxed. Let me know what you think about the unfoldings of the last week. Keep it friendly, keep it normal in the comment section down below. Respect each other's opinion, and that is it from me now, guys. I will see you next time.